Hey everyone, this is WobblyWallaby. Today I'm taking a look at Ellinia, the new Spirit Whisperer hero class that was released in the beta server. I'll be going over the 12 DPS factors that I have for DPS in PvE, and I'll be letting you know if she's worth playing. Ellinia is very unique, most notably being able to possess a friend, enemy, or your PP dragon. If you played physical or magic Spirit Whisperers in the past, her skills are definitely much different. For those builds, it definitely requires a lot of manual casting, but Ellinia is a lot easier to use. Thanks to Cremisi and Bacon for translating these skills so I can focus more on the playstyle. There's definitely more details, so check out the description for the complete link. For her core hero skill called Star Contract, in PvE you'll need a minimum at level 4. Ellinia will become invincible when possessed, and this is key. For PvE, you can possess PP Dragon and its damage is increased by 50% and damage received is reduced by 50%. That number changes depending on your core hero skill level. First for number 1 is damage frequency. Ellinia has amazing damage frequency when using PP Dragon. He attacks at a very high frequency, which is ideal for taking down legend bosses. With Ellinia, I was able to take down Legend Isles 1 to 3 and also Legend Museum 1 to 2, so her damage frequency is definitely high enough that she's able to pull that off. Besides PP Dragon, you also have Meteor Concerto, which is a fast hitting AoE with a 0.5 second attack rate, which is great. So Ellinia gets an ideal rating when it comes to damage frequency. Next for number 2 is burst damage. Ellinia has good damage, and when I'd gone boss hunting with her, she didn't have the ideal burst damage of Sentima, Heinrich, or Rotaru. She definitely can hit hard, but compared to other classes, she definitely doesn't live up to it. Also, when you change maps, you're dismounted from your PP Dragon, and remounting has a cooldown which is not ideal. Although I will acknowledge her move speed is quite great, she gets about an extra 45% when on PP Dragon, which is really nice. Next for number 3 is Survivability. Ellinia has ideal survivability. First level 4 core hero skill, she is invincible while in possessed state. That means if PP Dragon dies, she won't die. For example, here I try floor 3 of Museum, and PP Dragon dies, I can run around a bit and I don't die myself. And then once PP Dragon is revived, you can mount again. So while possessing someone, she does have anti-death. But with her own Meteor Concerto, you cannot do lifesteal. Also, card effects don't work with PP Dragon, so you cannot use lifesteal through that method too. Cards or item effects that boost your stats such as skill damage, MVP damage, or penetration do work, but those special effects such as the Griffin Star card where it boosts your attack temporarily does not work. So instead of lifesteal, you have to settle with Intertwined Fate, which does give you some continuous life gain. Next is Rainbow Guardian. It lets you absorb max HP times 100% damage, which is great, especially when used on a possessed ally. So with some lifesteal, anti-death, and a shield, I definitely give her an ideal rating. Next for number 4 is Damage Scalability, which I think is ideal for the PP Dragon setup. His damage uses both physical and magic attack and multiplies by 2000%, which is a big multiplier. For your damage based multipliers like attack, magic attack, penetration, ignore defense, skill damage, and more, he inherits 100% of it. Her dragon hits really hard, so that alone makes her dragon scalability ideal. Next for number 5 is hitting critical stats. Compared to Raptors or Glitzberg, Ellinia doesn't have any skills or weapons that helps her hit 200% ignore defense, 70% penetration, or 50% skill damage in an unfair way. Nothing in excess of 20 to 30%, so she gets a grade of non-ideal for this factor. Next for number 6 is Convertible Damage. Your Meteor Concerto is stuck to earth physical damage, which I'm not a huge fan of. I wish this could be converted, but thankfully PP Dragon's attack can be converted, which is ideal. In addition, you can also self-convert with the skill Elemental Wheel. You can use Wind, Earth, Water, Fire, and Holy. It's nice to be able to cast this yourself so you don't need to use converters or rely on a saint. Also, you get some elemental reductions as well, which is great. Next, number 7 is range. Ellinia's Meteor Concerto and PP Dragons have a range of 8, so this is ideal. It's definitely a very long range. Next, number 8 is utility. Compared to Spirit Whisperer, her utility is worse. I personally would prefer something that could benefit the entire party more. However, if you're supporting a primary DPS, then possessing that person can be nice, especially the shield for the teammate. I'd say she's good, but not ideal. Next, for number 9 is AoE. All her skills are AoE, including PB Dragon. I've tried her in Oracle Dungeon with mobs and she does quite well, so she's an ideal for me. Next, for number 10 is ease of use. She is easy to use, I'd say she's ideal. You possess Dragon PP, then auto attack with Meteor Concerto, and he'll attack your target too. In Cyber for Elite, you have your shield skill, your converter skill, and another skill, Break Free and Awaken, which gives you some immunity to control an abnormal status for 1 second. You mostly just watch Dragon PP shred through your opponents. I didn't have much problem soloing legend content with her. Next, number 11 is ease of gearing up. I'd say she's ideal since she has lots of flexibility for gearing up. You could use ranged or melee gear. You can also use many of the existing gears and swap in her weapon and you're done. So for transitioning to her, I think it's pretty easy. If you came from a Spirit Whisperer background, you'll probably have a lot of her gear as well. Next, for number 12 is free-to-play friendly. This factor is a bit too early to speak on right now. These beta accounts have too high deposits to accurately gauge this. I'll need to try it out more when it gets released globally. I also think her attack scaling with magic and physical attack makes this class feel a lot stronger, but if you had lower deposits it might not be that insane. Next, would I use her? For Ellinia, I don't personally know when I'd ever use her over any other classes for PvE. I was impressed with how well she did in Void. I think it's because Dragon PP takes the reflect damage itself and you don't die, so it's pretty nice. I would prefer her over Begetter since her damage is more consistent than Homunculus, and the targeting is better too. But besides that, I'll stick with my main Kalitzberg, which feels significantly more unfair. There was a bug fix recently to make sure her attacks were all long range attacks, because at one point people had soloed Legendmisium 3F, but then they fixed it and ruined our fun. It would have been great if they released a new ROM class that was able to solo Legendmisium 3F, but I guess that day hasn't come yet. Will you be using Ellinia? Let me know in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Here's a video that I recommend, and if you want more sneak peeks, check out this playlist over here.